Hello, I'm Maine Realtor Andy Moores. Thank you very much for finding and stopping by our Maine Real Estate video channel. Since 1976, our small, family-run Maine Real Estate Agency has tried to do a better job to promote the properties with more detail than you can get anywhere else online. Why? We don't want to waste your time. If I were you and trying to get information about property and had to have long delays to call, to email, to dig and scratch to get information, that's not the experience you would want, right? Well, me neither. So we try to give you more information up front so that you can help distinguish this property listing from another one that's for sale. Also, the area. You may not be from these parts. You may not know much or anything about the local area. So a big part of our job is to take you by the hand and show you around these parts. Take you to the events that happen, whether it's a farmer's market or to go skiing at Big Rock or to show what living on a lake is like. That's what you're buying as a lifestyle. You're not just investing in a real estate listing and that's it. You want what goes on and happens around it. So a big part of our job is show the area, promote the area to make sure this is where you want to be, that it's a good fit. And lastly, the process. Like most things in life, it's more complicated than ever. Buying and selling real estate doesn't have to be, though, if you have someone that can navigate from listing to closing, to set the expectations, to educate and make it fun, friendly, and to save you money and costly delays. So we get it. And lastly, our job is to be human, to answer lots of questions that you have. Not everybody has the same questions or concerns, and not everybody's buying the same type of property. A person looking for a house listing is not the same as someone buying a mom and pop grocery. So we have to distinguish what you need out there in the audience based on what you're looking for. And you have a budget. We're trying to get you the most property for the amount of money. This video is designed, like all the rest of them that we do, and blog posts too, to save you time, to save you money, and to save you costly frustration. This video is about jobs, employment, what's for work up in northern Maine. Because unless you're retired and have an income that follows you here, you need work. You need something to make the payments on that very affordable housing. If you're a young couple wanting to start a family in a good, wholesome, small town atmosphere. So jobs in the Houlton Maine area. If you look down below, there's a companion blog post that goes along with this video. It will give you each and every listing of employer out there and also the contacts so that you can one by one go down through the process to find a job, because that goes hand in hand with buying a property. If you telecommute, you're in for a big surprise. We have internet connectivity. Our broadband is second to none. How can that be in a small rural town? Well, the emphasis has been on being connected, and every single house in Houlton, Maine has access to fiber. I know, that is huge, but that's necessary if you work online, if you telecommute, if you're going to bring your job with you to the Houlton, Maine area. Other jobs. Well, for starters, northern Maine, a rustic county, is the largest of the 16. Houlton, Maine is the oldest town in Aroostook County. We're the shire town or the capital seat. Because we're a shire town, we have a lot of government type jobs. You have customs and immigration and border patrol. Since 9/11 happened, that homeland security element of jobs has increased tremendously. We're on the Canadian border with the province of New Brunswick, remember? So you have a lot of out on the border jobs. Because we're a county seat, you also have the Aroostook County Sheriff's Department headquartered here, which means the county jail, registry of deeds, registry of probate, Superior Court, District Court, we're the county seat, so all those are headquartered right here. Troop F is the state police, and up on the North Road there's a barracks. So that might be the employment you're looking for, working for the state police or local police. Because we're a county seat, you also have the University of Maine College, an offshoot of the University of Maine system. So if you want to continue your education, you might work at RSU MSAD 29, which is the Houlton school system that covers Littleton, Monticello, Hammond, and you might actually be out in Hodgson, 6 miles away at SAD or RSU 70 that does Hodgson, Ludlow, Amity, Cary, and those surrounding parts. So you might want to get a job in the educational field. But what else? Well, because we're the county seat, and because all the transportation artery roadways come together at this crossroads, transportation is a very big industry to consider working at. Trucking, everything tied to trucking, and we have a railroad that comes through too. And there's an international airport that has activity coming and going. So transportation, because US Route 1, Route 2, Route 2A, and Interstate 95 that connects to the Atlantic provinces will all create a reason to be here, because we're right in the thick of things as far as traffic and transportation. Transportation, again, is the second largest industry in this whole country. Someone's got to fix those trucks, fuel those trucks, do repairs on them. Speaking of trucking too, there's a specialty trailer company called Stairs Welding. They prefab a special log trailer for the lumbering industry. Lumbering, timber is big. You have Ward Log Homes, Katahdin Cedar Log Homes. They're headquartered right here because Maine is 91% wooded. So there are a lot of jobs tied to the woods industry. Farming is big. It's no secret that we're known for our Maine potatoes, but we also have dairy cattle. We have a Houlton Farms dairy located right here in Houlton, Maine. We have potato and grain that's grown, broccoli, squash. There's an organic farm. Farming is very big, and it's a nice lifestyle. You may want to buy a little hobby farm and work for yourself. Or maybe you don't need to make a whole lot of money when you're pretty much self-sufficient. The other good thing about Houlton, Maine is the Houlton Water Company. We have cheap juice, very low-cost power, and that helps you when you pay your bill once a month. It's not for profit. Houlton Water Company, if they make money, lower your rate. I know that's unheard of for a utility that just walks it to you in most areas, not Houlton, Maine. Houlton Water Company provides the water, the sewer, and the power for our local area. We have a dairy, Houlton Farms Dairy. We also have a slew of lakes within a 10-mile radius. When you're in Houlton, Maine, you can go to Drews Lake, Nickerson Lake, Timony, Spalding, Cochrane, or head down to East Grand Lake, the Million Dollar View region. Tourism is big. There's a lot of rental properties. You might want to own an apartment house. There's about 550 apartment units in the Houlton, Maine area, and there's less than 2% vacancy. So there is a need for quality rental housing. You also might want to buy a job to make what you're worth. Mom and pop businesses are really big in this area, whether it's a little restaurant or a little campground. You might like to hunt and fish and do it for a living. You're in northern Maine, you're in a rural area, so that creates a lot of job opportunities. So those are just some of the highlights, but please look down below because there's a companion blog post about jobs, employment, what's available for labor opportunities in the Houlton, Maine area that will help you if that's one of your big searches today. We're trying to save you time, and that's why we do these blog posts and these videos on more than just what's for sale. The last thing we'll finish up with are some frequently asked questions. There's always a lot of questions that we've fielded since we started this business back in 1976. So, license. When I come to Maine, how soon do I need to get a new driver's license? When do I need to change over the one that I got? Once you're a resident, within 30 days you need to get a new Maine driver's license. Sounds like a small question that maybe not everybody cares about, but you do if you need to know the answer to that. So 30 days within becoming a resident of Maine, you need to get your license switched over. Ice shacks. Say you like to ice fish. How soon do you have to have that ice shack off a lake? Within 3 days of when that lake is closed to ice fishing, you have to get that shack off. You're going to want to anyway because you don't want it to go down through the drink. So the Inland Fisheries and Wildlife Department will let you know each lake when ice fishing is closed. And one more question. Is it dangerous being that close to Canada? We get asked that one a lot. We're related to all these people across the border. Thank goodness they come across and we get to go the other way for business, for recreation, for tourism. So Canadians are a big part of our local economy. And no, that's not dangerous being next door. It's a perk. If you're on vacation, it's like a two-nation vacation being on the Canadian border. And what kind of ties in with that is, do I need to have a passport to go to Canada? Is it a big production? No, it isn't. But yes, you do as an adult. You need a passport or a Nexus card. But if your kids are 16 or younger, you can get by with your birth certificates. 16 and under for birth certificates to go to Canada. Thank you very much for joining us for this video on pretty much mostly jobs, employment, what's for labor in the northern Maine area, opportunities that exist, and we're here for any questions that you have, so please reach out. Thank you very much for watching the Maine Real Estate Channel. I'm Maine Realtor Andy Moores.